What's good, peeps? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Don't forget as well, please, to like and share the vids. Again, thank you so much to everyone that is still doing that. You can also support the channel as well. I do have a Patreon account. The link is in the description. All right. After all that spiel, let's do this. A bit late, but better late than never. This week in boxing episode, I think it's 21 or 22. Have you recovered yet, people? I haven't. I can't lie to you. What a night of boxing. Fucking hell, what a night of boxing, pardon my French. Just epic. It was, isn't it? Just epic. Nothing beats a big boxing night for me. Yesterday, or the early hours of this morning, reminded me why I think boxing is the best sport in the world. I mean, look, I know you have, and I love football, right? And there are big football moments, but nothing for me gets the adrenaline pumping like a big boxing match. Liverpool does, I point there because my TV's there. Liverpool does, but not football in general, Liverpool. I mean, boxing, anyone can be fighting. As long as it's a big boxing match, fucking hell, gets the heart going. Where should we start? Only one place to start. Tyson Fury defeated Deontay Wilder, the corner through the towel. And I do think that the referee was close to stopping it anyway, but the corner through the towel in the 7th round. So Tyson Fury is the new WBC heavyweight champion of the world and the ring belt holder as well now, to go along with his lineal title. I do wonder, now he's got a physical title, if he will still say or still keep saying the lineal champion. I do wonder. We'll see. Wow, what a performance. What next for both, right? It's like we don't even give them time to enjoy the moment. It's like, what next for Fury? Is it AJ? Is it a Wilder rematch? What is he going to do next? Is he going to do what he normally does? And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but normally he drops down to like an E-level opponent. Who knows, right? I guess the biggest question is what next for Deontay Wilder. Now, he's got the right to exercise the rematch. He can do it immediately. He's got 30 days to think about it. But, I mean, does he need 30 days? I mean, if I'm Deontay Wilder, I mean, fuck the rematch. You lost the first one. Let's be honest, you lost the first fight. They gave you a draw. You got beat up in the second fight. You ain't beating Tyson Fury. It's that simple. You're not beating Tyson Fury. But I do feel, there's a few reasons. I do feel his ego, number one, plus the people behind him, Shelley Finkel, Al Heyman, PBC, Fox, they all want that belt back in America, on American soil, around an American waist. So they're going to push Deontay Wilder to accept the rematch. Plus, there's a lot of money on the table. There's a lot of money. If Deontay Wilder fights anyone else not named Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua, he's not going to make the same amount of money that's on the table. So I don't know. Tough decisions for Deontay Wilder. On the undercard was Charles Martin versus Gerald Washington. Charles Martin got the stoppage in the 6th round. Good win for Charles Martin. Very good win. I like this new Charles Martin, I do. He's on a bit of a resurgence. He lost the Kalnaki fight. I think that was 2 or 3 fights back, but that was a good fight. A lot of people have Kalnaki as a top 12, 13, and it was a very competitive fight. So it'll be interesting to see what Charles Martin does. I think he's only 1 or 2 away from being the mandatory again for the IBF. So it'll be interesting to see who he fights next and what he does next. Emmanuel Navarrete stopped Joe Santism in the 11th to keep his WBO super bantamweight title. I think he's the best super bantamweight in the world. But I mean, it depends who you like. Some people are going to say Akhmadiliev, who's the WBA and IBF champion. They have to have a unification. I don't know who's the WBC. Who is the WBC? Come on, Ade. Come on. Who is the WBC? Can't fucking remember. But those two are the number 1 and number 2 in the division, I think. So it'd be good to see them. Isaac Lowe beat Alberto Guevara, 10 rounds, decision. He's got the WBC International Featherweight. He's actually unbeaten, Isaac Lowe. I guess for him, he's going to fight on every single Tyson Fury undercard. So he's going to be in decent shows regardless. There was a couple of fight cards at York Hall, both on Friday and Saturday. Hara Davis, he beat Jeff Ofori in the 6th round stoppage. So he advances to the Golden Contract final. He will take on Tyrone McKenna, who he didn't win that fight against Mohammed Mimoun, a unanimous decision. Didn't win the fight though, as far as I'm concerned. If that fight happens anywhere else in the world, Mimoun takes that decision. So that's a bit disappointing, but Hara Davis versus Tyrone McKenna is a good little scrap for the Golden Contract. Do you remember they had that little beef which IFL TV filmed. I don't know if you remember that, in York Hall. So, yeah, I guess they're going to fucking milk that for everything. On the Saturday, I think it was the Saturday or the Friday, but Umar Sadiq beat the unbeaten Cody Davis. I think it was a unanimous decision. Umar Sadiq's a super middleweight, so he's not too far away from a British title shot, so well done for him. Brad Foster beat Lucian Reid to retain his British and Commonwealth super bantamweight straps. So that's the fight news. So much more fight news, by the way, but I'm not going to go through everything. You guys know how to find it. Some news for you guys. There isn't much because obviously the week was pretty much filled with Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. So this is a short this week in boxing. Some fights that might be announced soon. Fingers crossed, 'cause this one's a big one. Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Luis Ortiz in the summer. Love that fight. Absolutely love that fight. I did want to see Andy Ruiz versus Dillian Whyte badly, but I mean, that's not a bad option, right? Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz. That's a pick'em fight, you know. For me, if there's anything left of Luis Ortiz after getting knocked out by Deontay Wilder, that's a 50-50 fight. I just want to see Andy Ruiz in shape. If Andy Ruiz can get back in shape, I still don't know who his new trainer is. Is it Teddy Atlas? I don't know. But if he can get in some sort of shape, that's a fantastic fight. Bob Arum is in the news, not because of anything related to Tyson Fury. I'm sure Bob Arum's going to speak a lot about Tyson Fury in recent weeks. But Bob Arum is in the news because Bob Arum said that Jarrell Miller, who is now signed to Top Rank, didn't know he was putting PEDs in his system, or that's what he believes anyway, that Jarrell Miller didn't know. Bob, shut the fuck up. Just say something like, you know what? He served his punishment. He's sorry. He knows what he done is wrong. Just give that statement. Don't give the statement saying he didn't know what he was doing. I think that's fucking disgraceful. Another thing Bob Arum said this week, and I made a video about it, and I'm really interested in everyone's opinion on this. He said that he doesn't think Anthony Joshua is an elite boxer. What do you guys think about that statement? What? No? Yes? I believe he is, personally, just because of what he's done as an amateur and a pro. Remember, World Championship silver medalist, Olympic game gold medalist. He's unified belts in the heavyweight division. Some decent names on there as well. Joseph Parker, Vladimir Klitschko, Dillian Whyte, Andy Ruiz. Who else is on that list? Who have I missed? Povetkin. I mean, you're elite if you're beating those guys for me. So I think he is elite, but I can fully understand what Bob's saying. Bob's basically saying that Bob promoted Andy Ruiz and he thinks Andy Ruiz ain't that great, basically. And that Andy Ruiz put AJ down 4 times. I think it's elite to get beaten by a guy like that, kind of regroup, come back, change your style, do the immediate rematch and beat that person. I think that's a sign of an elite boxer, just from a mindset point of view. So that's what I think. But what do you guys think? Joe Joyce versus Daniel Dubois. Great fight. Can't wait for this one. I think it's April 11th. There was talk about it being April 18th. The reason they've moved it is because obviously Joe Joyce versus Daniel Dubois is on BT Sports, right? Pay-per-view. On April 18th, it's Khabib Nurmagomedov, we hope, versus Tony Ferguson. So you don't want to put 2 big events on the same day. Split them if you can. That's why they've moved it. But we're hearing now that this fight will also be for the European title, which is good, right? And the winner will have to fight Marco Huck. I don't know why. What they should have done is the winner fight Hrgovic. That would have been something. But Joe Joyce versus Daniel Dubois for the European heavyweight title is interesting, and I like that. A heavyweight that was supposed to fight February 29th on the undercard of Mikey Garcia versus Jesse Vargas is Gassiev. We haven't seen Gassiev in the ring since he got beat by Alexander Usyk in the World Boxing Super Series final. I don't even know when that was. I'm thinking that could have been, when was that? August 2018, maybe? I don't know. So he's not been in the ring for about a year and a half anyway, or something like that, I think. Well, he's off. He's not going to fight on that card anymore. We don't know what's going on. That's a couple of postponements now. I don't know what's going on with Gassiev. I don't know if it's injury. They said something about the contract. So it could be a bit of both injuries and a contract issue. I don't know if that's a contract issue related to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom or to these minor promoters. You know how it works. It's almost like there's promoters, so there's Matchroom, and then there's small ones beneath that. So I wonder if it's one of the small ones beneath that. Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders looks like it's close to being announced. We heard this week from Mike Coppinger, who said it's 95% done, and that the final 5% is just a case of working out what Billy Joe Saunders' minimum or base pay will be. Canelo's come out and said that these guys are all asking for the moon and stars to fight him. Interesting, right? I get that they want money. Look, we all understand that Canelo is the cash cow, and I feel like if you are going to fight the cash cow, you should be rewarded for that. But at the same time, I mean, how confident are these guys that they're going to beat Canelo? For me, it's like you beat Canelo. It's almost like Highlander, that movie where you chop him off, you take all his power. You beat Canelo. Say Canelo gets 40 million and you get 5. If you're that confident, take the 5, because you know in the fucking rematch, and there will be a rematch, it could be 50-50. It could be 50-50 or 60-40. It could be that. I wonder if these guys are really that confident, or they all just want the money just because they know they're not going to win, and fuck it, just make as much money as possible. I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it. You should take lowball money to fight Canelo, because the rewards if you beat that kid are massive, So I don't understand why everyone's asked. Well, I do, but I mean, that shouldn't be the end goal, right? Just to make as much money from that one fight as possible. It should be the end goal in terms of your career, but for that fight, it should be beat Canelo, get the rematch, beat him again, then you're a superstar, surely. Mayweather, interesting. Mayweather has said that he thinks, obviously a lot of people have voted for Mayweather as boxer of the decade, even though his career stopped halfway through the decade. No argument with me. I think Mayweather is the boxer of the decade. But he's come out and said he's athlete of the decade. He says it's him and not LeBron James as athlete of the decade. Do Americans not watch any other sports apart from those that go on in America? Like, has Mayweather never heard of Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi? They just, no, not heard of them. I mean, Usain Bolt, just skipped him. Mayweather, not even joking here, Mayweather, I don't think would get in my, if I was to really sit down, I don't think Mayweather makes my top 15 athlete of the decade. It probably doesn't. Like, Djokovic is way in front of him. Serena Williams, you know, you can go through sports of people that are way in front of Floyd Mayweather. I mean, I don't know. As a boxer, yeah, halfway through the decade, because your boxing achievements are better than anyone else. But I mean, as an athlete, when you chuck in the footballers, NFL guys, nah, basketball players, swimmers, yeah, you're not athlete of the decade at all. Frank Warren has come out, and we'll end on this one. It's a short This Week in Boxing, guys. Sorry. Frank Warren has come out, although he's kind of changed his mind recently, but he did come out in the week, and he spoke to Boxing Social's Rob Tebbett, and he said if Tyson Fury wins, and he has won, that they would offer Anthony Joshua 40%. What do you make of that? Tyson Fury winning, which he has done, I repeat myself, and them offering AJ 40%. Who is the bigger star now? For me, it's still AJ, but I mean, that gap is closing fucking rapid. They said that Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder broke the box office gate receipt record for a heavyweight fight in Las Vegas. That's no easy thing to do. That is no easy thing to do. I'm so interested in the pay-per-view number for this fight. I don't think it's going to be a reflection on what happened in the fight, because we're so excited. We're talking about the fight. I mean, it might have only done 500,000 buys. But remember, it's doing 500,000 buys at like $100 a pop. I think that's what the pay-per-view buy was. The pay-per-view buy-in figure was $100 a pop, where when AJ fights over here, it is $20 to $25 a pop. So you have to weigh that up. So even if Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury does 300,000, that's a massive number. That would be 1 million equivalent over here. Does that make any sense? Hopefully it does. What do you guys make of it? Again, a quick This Week in Boxing. Apologies. I could have got more news, but it's been a long fucking day for me, people. Anyway, enjoy that and just soak it all up. Soak up Tyson Fury. And you know what you should soak up even more? The British boxing fans. How amazing are the British boxing fans? I know there's the Mexican boxing fans are amazing. The Puerto Rican fans are crazy as well. But nothing like the British boxing fans. Nothing. I do wonder if roles were reversed. So if big time boxing was the thing in the UK the way it is in America with like Madison Square Garden and Las Vegas, I wonder if the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans would travel over here the way we travel. I mean, the British boxing fans spend thousands to travel, and they fucking travel in their thousands and make more noise than any fans on the planet. We salute you. We salute you. Anyway, that's it. This week in boxing. Peace.